The cooler door won't open from the inside. I'm pressing the release bar, hard, metal cutting into my palms, and nothing happens. The hydraulic hiss I heard when I walked in 2 minutes ago, gone. The mechanism is dead. And outside, through the small reinforced window, I can see the fluorescent lights in aisle 3 flashing in that specific pattern I was warned about. Twice in 10 seconds. Pause. Twice more. My phone shows 3:33 a.m., the exact time Sarah Chen's security footage stopped. I've been following the rules. All 5 of them. The ones I found scattered across this place like breadcrumbs someone hoped would save the next person. The laminated sheet taped inside the employee manual. The post-it note stuck to the register. The handwritten warning shoved under the cash drawer. I followed them because they seemed intentional, specific in a way that corporate policies never are. They didn't keep me safe. Or maybe they did. And that's why I'm locked in a walk-in cooler at a gas station on Highway 50, while a semi-truck idles in the parking lot outside, its engine running in that low, patient way that says, the driver isn't here to buy cigarettes and leave. The lights flash again. Same pattern. I can smell something now that wasn't here when I came in for the inventory sheets. Not gasoline. That would make sense. Would trigger the evacuation protocol printed on every wall. This is different. Older. Like earth that's been sealed away from air. Like the inside of a closed space that hasn't been opened in years. Even though I absolutely know, that the cooler gets restocked twice a day. My breath comes out white in the refrigerated air. 41 degrees, the gauge says, but my skin tells me it's colder. The kind of cold that comes from fear, from understanding something you weren't supposed to understand. The phone rings, not my cell. The store phone, the ancient landline mounted on the wall outside, the one with the actual coiled cord and the numbered buttons that stick when you press them. It rings in that old mechanical way, bell inside metal housing, urgent and wrong at this hour. I count. 1 ring, 2, 3. At 7 rings, I'm supposed to hang it up. That's Rule 3, written on a piece of legal paper tucked into the binder under the counter. Do not answer phone calls after 2 a.m. unless caller ID shows dispatch. If phone rings without caller ID, let it ring exactly 7 times, then disconnect. 4, 5, 6. But I'm in the cooler. The phone is out there. And hanging it up requires me to get out, which requires this door to open, which requires... What? What did I miss? Which rule did I break that put me here? 7 rings. The phone stops. Silence. The cooler's compressor isn't even running, which can't be right because the temperature gauge still glows its steady green. Power's on. Everything's functional, but the ambient sound, that background hum you stop noticing after the first hour of a shift, has disappeared completely. Then the truck's horn. Short blast. Morse code, maybe. 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. I press my face to the window, trying to see the cab, trying to make out the license plate that I should have checked, that Rule 1 explicitly said to check against the list I never found. The window's too small, the angle's wrong, and condensation from my breath immediately fogs the glass. When I wipe it clear, the truck's headlights are pointed directly at the cooler door, not at the store, not at the pumps. At this specific door, this walk-in refrigerator, as if the driver knows exactly where I am. My hand goes to the door again. I push the release bar with my full weight, feeling the metal bow slightly but not give. I kick the base. Nothing. I try the emergency release, the red handle that's supposed to override everything, that every commercial cooler is legally required to have. It turns in my hand. Smooth. Too smooth. Like it's not connected to anything. Like it's just a prop, a piece of theater meant to provide comfort while offering no actual function. That's when I notice the gap. Not in the door, in the floor. Along the back wall, where the wire shelving meets the rubberized flooring, there's a seam that shouldn't exist. It's barely visible hidden by the shelf's bottom rack, but when I crouch down and look closer, I can see it clearly. A cut. Clean. Deliberate. Outlining a section of floor about 2 feet square. I pull the shelving unit away from the wall. The wheels protest, metal on concrete, but it moves easier than it should for something loaded with cases of energy drinks and beer. Behind it, the floor section I saw lifts up with almost no effort. A handle. Industrial. The kind used for accessing utility spaces. Below darkness and a smell. That earth smell, stronger now, mixed with something else. Old paper. Mildew. The specific odor of things that were meant to stay hidden. There are stairs. Metal grating, leading down maybe 8 feet to a concrete floor I can barely see. The truck horn again. Same pattern. Insistent. I hear voices now. Outside. Low conversation. 2 people, maybe 3. The door chime hasn't rung, which means they haven't come inside yet, which means I have. How long? How much time before they walk in and find the cooler open and empty, and figure out that someone went where they absolutely should not have gone? Rule 5 echoes in my memory, the one printed on a faded index card I found tucked into the employee handbook's back cover. Never restock aisle 3 after midnight. If items are found on floor in aisle 3, leave them until 6 a.m. I thought it was about liability, about insurance policies and third shift protocols. I thought it was the kind of arbitrary corporate nonsense that makes working retail feel like navigating a bureaucratic maze designed by people who've never actually worked a register. I was wrong. The voices are getting closer. The door chime rings once, twice. Multiple customers. At 3:34 a.m. At a gas station 87 miles from anywhere. I look at the hatch. At the darkness below. At the only exit that's currently available. And I think about Sarah Chen, 19 years old, last seen on security footage entering this exact cooler at 3:33 a.m. on March 15th, 2003. Last seen carrying an inventory clipboard and wearing the same ugly polyester vest I'm wearing now. Last seen alive. The cooler door handle rattles. Someone's trying to open it from outside. I grab my phone, turn on the flashlight, and descend into the dark. The interview took 6 minutes. That should have been my first warning. You need the job? The manager, Ron, didn't look up from his phone. He was maybe 50, wearing a stop-and-go polo shirt that had seen better decades, sitting in a back office that smelled like old coffee and printer toner. Yes, sir? You got a problem working nights? Alone? No, sir. Criminal record? Drugs? Outstanding warrants? No, sir. None of that. Ron finally looked at me. His eyes were tired in that specific way that comes from working retail management for too long, from dealing with corporate memos and shortage reports, and the constant grinding realization that this job was never supposed to be permanent, but somehow became a career. You start tonight, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., 8-hour shift, 1 unpaid 30-minute break, $22.50 an hour, time and a half after midnight on weekends. You wear the vest, you follow the manual, you don't steal, you don't let your friends hang out, and you call me if anything weird happens. He slid a key ring across the desk. 5 keys. 1 for the front door, 1 for the register, 1 for the back office, 1 for the supply closet, and 1 that was unmarked but looked older than the others. Brass gone green with age. What's this one for? I held up the unmarked key. Maintenance access. You probably won't need it. If you do, you'll know. Ron pulled a 3-ring binder from a drawer. Stop and Go Employee Manual, the cover said, printed on laminated cardstock that had been taped back together multiple times. He opened it to a page marked with a torn strip of yellow paper. Page 14. Read it. Tonight. Before midnight. What's on page 14? Store policies, specific to this location. Corporate doesn't need to know about them, but you do. He stood up. Interview clearly over. There's a shift report binder under the counter. Previous employee left notes. Might be helpful, might not. You figure it out. I took the manual, the keys. Ron walked me to the door, pointed at the front counter where the register glowed its soft blue standby light. Cameras are working. I check them. Corporate checks them. You do your job, you get paid, everybody's happy. You don't do your job. He shrugged. Well, nobody's happy. Channel intro 10 seconds. 8 hours later, I'm unlocking the front door at 10:47 p.m., 13 minutes early because rent is due in 3 days and I can't afford to make a bad impression. The previous shift guy, Tommy, looks relieved to see me. You're Marcus, right? Ron said you were starting tonight. That's me. Tommy starts the handoff immediately. Cash drawer count, credit card machine reset, inventory levels, the night drop procedure. Everything delivered in that rapid, monotone voice of someone who's been waiting all shift to leave and doesn't want to spend 1 extra minute explaining things. Coffee pots get cleaned at 6 a.m. Don't do it earlier, grounds are still hot. Hot dog machine shuts off at midnight, don't turn it back on. Health code thing. If someone wants cigarettes, ID everybody. I don't care if they're 90. Corporate's strict about that. I'm scribbling notes on the back of a receipt. Tommy's already putting on his jacket, checking his phone. You got the manual? Page 14? Ron mentioned it. Haven't read it yet. Tommy stops, looks at me directly for the first time. Read it. Before midnight. Seriously. It's just store policies, right? Sure. Store policies. He zips his jacket. There's also notes from previous shifts in the binder under the counter. You should probably read those too. Previous employee left notes? Yeah. Several previous employees. Tommy's at the door now. Look, man, I'm not trying to freak you out. It's just, this location has specific things. You follow the instructions, you're fine. You ignore them. He doesn't finish the sentence. What happened to the last person who worked nights? Quit after 2 weeks. Guy before that lasted 1 shift. Girl before that. Tommy opens the door. The night air rushes in, cold for November. She lasted 3 months. Then she just stopped showing up. Ron doesn't like to talk about it. The door chime rings as he leaves. I watch through the window as he gets into his car, starts the engine, and pulls out of the parking lot with the speed of someone who's genuinely happy to be gone. The clock on the register shows 11:04 p.m., 7 hours and 56 minutes until sunrise. I pull the manual from under the counter and open to page 14. The page is covered in plastic sheet protector, the kind you use for documents you don't want to get damaged. Inside, a laminated card with printed text. Stop and go, W447. Overnight shift protocols. Rule 1, never serve customers who arrive between 3:15 3:47 a.m. without checking vehicle's license plate against the approved list. List is kept in back office. Red folder marked vendor access. If plate is not on list, politely refuse service and lock front door until customer departs. Rule 2, if fluorescent lights in aisle 3 flicker more than twice within 10 minutes, immediately close and lock cooler room. Do not enter cooler for any reason until lights stabilize. If lights continue flickering after 20 minutes, call emergency number on back of this card. Rule 3, do not answer phone calls after 2 a.m. unless caller ID displays dispatch. If phone rings without caller ID, let it ring exactly 7 times, then disconnect. Do not answer. Do not check voicemail. Rule 4, if you smell gasoline inside store, not from customer's clothing, check underground tank pressure gauge in back room. Reading must be between 8-12 psi. If reading is below 8 psi or above 12 psi, evacuate immediately and call emergency number. Rule 5, never restock items in aisle 3 after midnight. If items are found on floor in aisle 3, leave them until 6 a.m. Do not attempt to clean or organize aisle 3 during overnight hours. Violation of these protocols may result in immediate termination and/or safety incidents. For questions, contact regional manager. Emergency number. Number printed on back. I read it twice, then a third time. The rules are oddly specific. Corporate policies are usually vague, broad, designed to cover legal liability without actually saying anything useful. These are different. These are instructions written by someone who knows exactly what they're trying to prevent. I flip the card over. The emergency number is a Montana area code. We're in Nevada. Under the counter, I find the shift report binder Tommy mentioned. It's old, the vinyl cover cracked, pages loose in the rings. I open it to the most recent entry. The handwriting is shaky. 11/8/24 overnight shift. Quiet until 2:30 a.m. Lights in aisle 3 started flickering. Locked cooler per rule 2. Heard sounds from cooler, like knocking, from inside. Didn't open it. Waited until 3:50 a.m. Sounds stopped. Lights stopped. Opened cooler at 4 a.m. empty normal. But smell was wrong. Like dirt. Like underground. If you're reading this because you're starting nights, just follow the rules. Don't ask why. Don't investigate. Just follow them. Tommy. I turn the page back. Another entry. Different handwriting. 10/30/24 third night. Got the call at 2:15 a.m. No caller ID. Let it ring 7 times like it says. Disconnected. It called back immediately. Let it ring 7 times again. Did this 6 times. Finally stopped at 2:47 a.m. Don't know what happens if you answer. Don't want to know. Jay. I keep flipping back. Weeks of entries, then months, then years. The binder goes back to 2004, entries scattered and inconsistent, but all following the same pattern. People describing the rules. People confirming they followed the rules. People expressing relief when their shifts ended without incident. And then I find the page that's been marked with a torn piece of yellow legal paper. The same kind of paper from the manual. The entry is dated March 16, 2003. Sarah didn't come out. We waited until 8 a.m. Police came. They searched everything: cooler, bathroom, stockroom, back office, outside. They brought dogs, checked the tanks, checked the pumps, nothing. She went into the cooler at 3:33 a.m. Security footage shows her going in, never shows her coming out, but she's not in there. They tore the place apart looking. She's just gone. They're shutting us down for investigation. Ron says we'll reopen when everything's cleared. I don't think I'm coming back. Miguel. The next entry is dated June 2004. First shift after reopening. Place has been completely renovated. New cooler. New electrical in aisle 3. New security cameras, new protocols. They gave us the rules. 5 rules. Said they're mandatory. Said they're for our safety. Nobody will explain what happened to Sarah. Corporate paid her family something. Settlement. Confidential. We're not supposed to talk about it, but the rules are because of what happened. I know they are. D. I close the binder. The clock shows 11:47 p.m. 13 minutes until midnight. 13 minutes until the rules officially apply. I look around the store. It's completely ordinary. Fluorescent lights humming their steady frequency. Cooler compressor running its normal cycle. 3 aisles of chips and candy and motor oil. A coffee station that needs cleaning. A hot dog roller that's already been shut off for the night. Nothing suggests that 5 people have quit this shift in the past year. Nothing suggests that a 19-year-old girl walked into a cooler 21 years ago and simply ceased to exist. But I'm wearing her vest. The name tag holder still has her tag in it, tucked into the pocket. Sarah, printed on white plastic. The letters slightly faded from age and handling. I pull it out, look at it under the register light. On the back, in small handwriting, if something happens, check the cooler floor, back left corner. The door chime startles me. First customer. Trucker looks like. Older guy, graying beard, wearing a jacket with Morrison Freight embroidered on the breast. Evening, he says. Pleasant. Normal. Just fuel. Pump 3. I process his card. He leaves. The transaction takes 90 seconds. The clock hits midnight. I look at page 14 again. At the 5 rules. At the emergency number. And I start my shift. The first 90 minutes are absolutely normal, which somehow makes it worse. I sell cigarettes to a college kid heading back to Reno. I make coffee, 3 pots, because the overnight truckers need it. I authorize fuel pumps. I restock the candy rack. I mop the bathroom. I do all the small, mindless tasks that make up a retail shift, and the whole time I'm hyper-aware of the rules printed on that laminated card. 1:15 a.m. No customers. Highway 50 is empty in both directions, headlights and taillights disappearing into darkness. I pull out the manual again, reread page 14. The rules don't explain anything. They're instructions without context, procedures without justification. It's like being handed a map with half the landmarks missing and being told to navigate perfectly. Rule 1. Check license plates against approved list. I haven't looked for the list yet. Ron said it's in the back office, red folder, vendor access. I should probably find it before 3:15 a.m., before the window opens when I'm supposed to refuse service to anyone whose plate isn't approved. The back office is small. Desk, filing cabinet, computer monitor showing 8 camera feeds, exterior pump view, interior register view, aisle 1, aisle 2, aisle 3, cooler interior, stock room, parking lot. I scan the feeds, all empty, all normal. The filing cabinet has 3 drawers. Top drawer, HR documents. Middle drawer, vendor invoices. Bottom drawer, miscellaneous. I find the red folder in the miscellaneous drawer. Vendor access, authorized vehicles, printed on the tab. Inside, a single sheet. 23 license plate numbers printed in 2 columns. Nevada plates, mostly. Some California. 1 Montana. Next to each plate, a company name. Morrison Freight, Desert Star Logistics, Silver State Transport. No explanation, no dates, no indication of why these specific vehicles are approved and all others are not. I take a photo of the list with my phone, walk back to the register. The clock shows 1:28 a.m. I notice something I missed earlier. Behind the register, taped to the wall where customers can't see it, there's a post-it note. Yellow, faded, the adhesive barely holding. The handwriting is different from the binder entries. Smaller, more controlled. If lights in aisle 3 flicker, Close cooler immediately. Don't wait. Don't think about it. Just close it and lock it. The smell comes first, then the sound. Then you'll want to check what's making the sound. Don't. Just lock the cooler and wait. S. Sarah. I walk to aisle 3. It's the farthest from the register, running along the back wall. Chips, cookies, crackers. The overhead fluorescent light is one of those long tube fixtures, the kind that's been in commercial buildings for decades. It's humming slightly, a soft electrical buzz I probably wouldn't notice if I wasn't listening for it. The light is stable, no flickering. At the end of the aisle, there's the cooler door. Heavy metal, professional grade, with a magnetic seal and a push bar release on the inside. A small window, reinforced glass, giving a view of the interior. I can see the wire shelving, the cases of beer and soda, the normal contents of a convenience store walk-in. Nothing unusual. I check the back left corner where Sarah's note said to look if something happened. From here, through the window, I can't see that corner clearly. The shelving blocks the view. I should probably check now. While it's quiet, while the rules don't technically apply yet, because it's not 2 a.m., because the lights aren't flickering, because everything is still firmly in the category of normal overnight shift. My hand's on the cooler door handle when I hear it, not from inside, from behind me. A soft sound, like something falling, something light hitting the floor. I turn. Aisle 3, a bag of chips, Lay's Classic, lying on the floor in the center of the aisle, several feet from the shelf where it should be. I walk over, pick it up. The bag is intact, not opened, not damaged. I look at the shelf. There's a gap where this bag came from, second shelf from the bottom, right at eye level. I put it back in the gap, walk away, take 3 steps toward the register, hear the same sound. Turn back. The bag is on the floor again. Same position, center of the aisle. This time I don't pick it up. Rule 5. Never restock items in aisle 3 after midnight. If items are found on floor in aisle 3, leave them until 6 a.m. I leave it, walk back to the register, pull out my phone, check the time, 1:34 a.m. If you work night shifts in retail, you know the feeling I'm talking about. You're alone in a building that's designed to hold hundreds of people during the day, and at night that emptiness becomes present. The space feels bigger. Sounds carry differently. Your mind starts interpreting ordinary things as threats because you're wired to notice patterns, and isolation breaks those patterns. That's what I tell myself. That's what I'm still telling myself when another bag falls in aisle 3. Different sound this time. Heavier. I don't turn to look, but I hear it clearly. Something hitting the floor with more force than a bag of chips falling from a shelf. The clock shows 1:37 a.m. I pull out the binder again, flip through entries, looking for anything about aisle 3 during these hours. I find an entry from August. Things fall in aisle 3 after midnight. Always aisle 3. Never aisles 1 or 2. Sometimes just 1 item. Sometimes 5 or 6. They don't fall randomly. They fall in a pattern, like someone's pushing them off the shelf deliberately. Line of items, left to right, or right to left. You can hear the sequence. Don't go over there to fix it. Don't even look directly at the aisle. Just leave it. In the morning, day shift will find the items and restock them, and there will be no evidence anything fell. Cameras don't show anything falling. I've checked. But I hear it every shift. We all hear it. Another sound. Same aisle. I don't look. I focus on the computer monitor showing the security feeds. I pull up the aisle 3 camera, empty aisle, items on shelves all properly positioned, nothing on the floor, but I can hear something, a soft rustling, like plastic bags moving against each other, like someone browsing the shelves, picking things up, putting them back. The aisle 3 camera shows nothing. I switch to the cooler feed, empty, wire shelving, cases stacked neatly, the compressor running, visible in the corner of the frame as a small vibration in the image. Normal. I switch back to aisle 3. Still empty on camera, but the sound continues. Rhythmic now. 1 item. Pause. Another item. Pause. A third item. Left to right. Someone moving down the aisle, pushing things off the shelf in sequence. Someone I can't see. The overhead light in aisle 3 flickers. Once. Brief. Less than a second. My hand reaches for the laminated card. Rule 2. If fluorescent lights in aisle 3 flicker more than twice within 10 minutes, immediately close and lock cooler room. Once isn't twice. Once is. Just an electrical anomaly. Old wiring, ballast failing, normal hardware decay in a building that's been here since 1987. I watch the light fixture. It flickers again, longer this time. The tube goes dark for maybe half a second, comes back at slightly lower intensity, then normalizes. I check my phone, start a timer. If it flickers a third time within 10 minutes, I lock the cooler. The sounds in aisle 3 stop. The silence is worse. I'm watching the security feed, watching the physical aisle through the gaps in the shelving, watching both simultaneously, and I realize something I should have noticed earlier. The temperature gauge on the wall behind me, the one that monitors the cooler's temperature remotely. It's showing 41 Badigerfu, normal operating range. But I can see condensation forming on the cooler's door window. Heavy, like the temperature inside just dropped significantly. I walk to the cooler door, press my hand against the metal. Cold. Much colder than it should be. The door is 45 degrees warmer than the interior by design, by physics, because metal conducts heat. But this feels like touching a freezer door, not a refrigerator door. Through the small window, I can see my breath forming white clouds inside the cooler. The gauge still reads 41 degrees. The light in aisle 3 flickers. Third time. The timer on my phone shows 4 minutes, 18 seconds since the first flicker. I walk to the cooler door, pull it closed. It seals with a heavy magnetic thud. I turn the external lock, a simple deadbolt that can only be opened from outside. Rule 2, completed. The light in aisle 3 stops flickering immediately. The temperature gauge drops to 38 degrees, then 35 degrees, then 32 degrees. The cooler is freezing. Actually freezing. In violation of every health code, every safety standard, every basic principle of food storage. I call Ron, straight to voicemail. This is Ron, leave a message. Ron, it's Marcus. First night, the cooler's doing something weird. Temperature's dropping fast. Lights in aisle 3 were flickering, so I locked it like the rules say, but now it's showing 32 degrees and I don't know if this is normal. Call me back. I hang up. The clock shows 1:52 a.m. and I hear something. From inside the cooler. Knocking. The knocking is rhythmic. 3 beats. Pause. 3 beats. Pause. It's coming from inside the cooler. From something. Or someone. That shouldn't be there. Because I can see the interior on the security monitor and the cooler is empty. Wire shelving, stacked cases, nothing else. But I can hear it clearly. Knocking. Deliberate. Like someone's fist against the interior wall, hitting the insulated metal in a pattern that feels almost like communication. Rule 2 says to lock the cooler when the lights flicker. It doesn't say what happens next. It doesn't say how long to wait. It doesn't say whether whatever this is normal, expected, part of the procedure. Tommy's note mentioned sounds from inside. He waited until 3:50 a.m. Lights stopped. Sounds stopped. Everything returned to normal. I check my phone. 1:53 a.m. If I wait like Tommy did, that's 2 hours. 2 hours listening to something knock from inside a locked cooler that surveillance shows is empty. The temperature gauge reads 29 degree beams now. Below freezing. Everything in there is going to be ruined. The beer will freeze. The soda will expand and burst. Corporate will want explanations, will want to know why I let thousands of dollars of inventory get destroyed. The knocking continues. Same pattern. Insistent. I pull up the security feed on my phone, maximize the cooler camera. The image quality is better on the phone screen. I can see individual beer cans. I can see the reflection of the overhead LED strip in the metal shelving. I can see movement, not a person, not anything with a clear shape. Just something. A distortion in the air, like heat shimmer. Except this is cold. The distortion is near the back left corner, the corner Sarah's note mentioned. The knocking is coming from that corner. I zoom in as much as the app allows. The distortion becomes clearer. It's not random. It has a pattern. It's moving in a specific way, oscillating between the floor and about 4 feet up the wall, like someone crouching and standing. Crouching and standing, trying to get attention. The phone buzzes in my hand. Text message. Unknown number. Don't open the cooler. Wait until lights stop. Follow the rules exactly. This is S. S. Sarah. I text back. Who is this? 3 dots appear. Someone's typing. Read the binder. March 17, 2003. Read what I wrote the day after. I grabbed the binder from under the counter, flipped frantically through pages. March 16, 2003, Miguel's entry about Sarah disappearing. March 17th. Nothing. Blank page. I keep flipping. March 18th, 19, 20. All blank. My phone buzzes again. They removed my pages. Look in the back office. Filing cabinet, bottom drawer, envelope marked personal items. I run to the back office, pull open the bottom drawer, file folders, old receipts, a broken calculator, and there, a manila envelope sealed with ancient tape that's gone brown with age. Personal items, S. Chen written in marker. I tear it open. Inside, folded notebook pages, lined paper. The handwriting is Sarah's, matching the post-it note, small and controlled. March 17, 2003. They won't believe me. Police asked questions all day. Where did I go? How did I leave? Was I planning to run away? They think I'm lying. But I was in there. I was in the cooler. And then I was. Somewhere else. The lights started flickering at 1:30 a.m. I didn't know about the rules then. Nobody told me. This was before they made the rules. Before they knew what was happening. I locked the cooler because the manager told me to always lock it when I'm not actively restocking. Company policy. Theft prevention. But when the lights flickered, something changed. I could feel it. The temperature dropped. Not gradually. Instantly. Like stepping from a warm room into a freezer. Then I heard knocking. From inside. I thought someone was trapped. Someone from the evening shift, maybe. Someone who got locked in accidentally. So I opened it. The cooler was empty. But the back left corner, the floor there, it was different. There was a gap. A seam I'd never noticed. And the seam was opening. Not like a door. Like a wound. Like the floor was separating and something underneath was showing through. I saw stairs. Metal grating. Going down into darkness. And I heard voices. Below. Talking quietly. Men's voices. Discussing something I couldn't make out. I should have left. Should have run. Should have called the police right then. But I heard someone say my name. Sarah's working tonight, right? Yeah. She's the one who called. We need to move it. She's seen too much. That's when I understood. They weren't talking about me coming down there. They were talking about coming up here. I ran. Got out of the cooler. Locked it from outside. Called 911. Told them there were people in the basement. People who shouldn't be there. Police came. Searched everything. Found nothing. No stairs. No gap in the floor. Just a normal cooler with normal inventory. They think I'm crazy. Making things up. Attention-seeking. But I know what I heard. I know what I saw. There's something under this building. Something connected to the cooler. And when the lights flicker, when the temperature drops, the connection opens. I told the manager. He told me not to talk about it. Said it would be handled. Said I should take a few days off while they investigate. I'm scared. I'm scared they're not investigating the building. I'm scared they're investigating me, trying to figure out how to make me stay quiet. I'm writing this down in case something happens. In case I need proof that I told someone, that I tried to warn someone. If you're reading this, if you found this, listen to me. Don't open the cooler when the lights flicker. Don't go down the stairs. And if you smell gasoline inside the store, if you smell it strongly, not just from a customer, it means they're moving something through the tunnels. It means they're here. Get out. Sarah Chen. I read it twice. My hands are shaking. The knocking has stopped. I checked the security monitor. The cooler is still empty on camera. The distortion is gone. The temperature gauge shows 34 degrees F, rising slowly. My phone buzzes. Another text. You read it. Good. Now you know. The tunnels are still there. The gap is still there. But they sealed it better after I disappeared. Made sure nobody could access it easily. The rules are to keep employees safe, but also to keep employees from finding out. I text back. You disappeared 21 years ago. How are you texting me? Long pause. 3 dots appear and disappear several times. I didn't disappear. They took me. Kept me quiet. Paid my family to stay silent. Gave me a new identity somewhere else. But I've been watching. I monitor this place. I have access to the security systems. I see every night shift. I see when people follow the rules and when they don't. And I try to help when I can. Who are they? The company isn't just a gas station. It's a cover. This location specifically. It's a waypoint for moving things that shouldn't be moved. The underground access was built in the 80s before Stop and Go bought the property. Tunnels connect to old mining access. Desert Star uses them for transport. Morrison Freight uses them. All the companies on that approved list, they're all part of it. Part of what? I can't type everything. Too risky. But you need to understand, the rules aren't about ghosts. They're about keeping you safe from real people doing real crimes. The lights flicker because they're opening the access point from below. The temperature drops because cold air from the tunnels floods the cooler. The sounds you hear, those are people moving cargo below you. The door chime rings. I jump, nearly drop the phone. Customer, standing at the register. Older woman, maybe 60, wearing a heavy coat despite the relatively mild November night. Sorry, didn't mean to startle you. Her voice is kind. Grandmother voice. Just need pump 4. I process her card with shaking hands. She notices. You okay, sweetheart? You look pale. First night, just adjusting. She smiles, sympathetic. Night shifts are hard. I used to work them at the hospital. You get used to it. The quiet, the weird hours. Your body adjusts. How long did it take you to adjust? About 3 months. She takes her receipt. But I'll tell you a secret. You never really get used to 3 a.m. That hour's just wrong somehow. Always felt wrong in the hospital. Too many people died at 3 a.m. Like that's when the body just gives up fighting. She leaves. The door chimes. Her taillights disappear down Highway 50. My phone shows 2:14 a.m. The clock behind the register shows 2:14 a.m. 46 minutes until 3 a.m. 46 minutes until the window opens when I'm supposed to check license plates against the approved list. The list of companies using the tunnels under this building. I text Sarah. What do I do? Follow the rules. All of them. Exactly. Don't deviate. Don't investigate. When your shift ends at 7 a.m., you leave and you never come back. You find another job. You forget this place exists. You want me to just ignore this? People are using this place for trafficking or smuggling or whatever, and I should just, what? Stock shelves and sell cigarettes? You want to end up like me? Paid off and relocated with threats against your family if you ever talk? Or worse? What's worse? She doesn't answer. The lights in aisle 3 flicker. Once. Brief. I check my phone timer. Start it. The cooler's temperature gauge reads 38 degrees. Normal range. I wait. The light flickers again. 2 minutes, 7 seconds since the first flicker. I walk to the cooler door. It's still locked from before, still sealed. Through the window I can see something. Not the distortion from earlier. Something physical. Something that wasn't there 10 minutes ago. A clipboard. Lying on the floor. In the back left corner. The same corner Sarah mentioned. The same corner where the gap appears. I unlock the cooler door. Start to pull it open. My phone buzzes frantically. Multiple texts. No. Don't open it. Marcus, don't. But I've already pulled it open. I'm already stepping inside. The cold hits me immediately. Not 38 degrees, much colder. I can see my breath forming white clouds. The clipboard is lying face down. I pick it up, turn it over. Inventory sheet. Dated March 15th, 2003. Sarah's handwriting. The last entry, 3:33 a.m., going to check back stock. We'll finish count after. She never finished the count. I look at the back left corner. The floor there is different, newer. The concrete is a slightly different shade, like it's been repaired or replaced. I crouch down, run my hand over the surface. It's smooth, seamless. But when I press down, I feel give, slight, like there's hollow space beneath. The lights in aisle 3 flicker, third time, and the floor under my hand feels warmer suddenly. Not cold concrete, warm, like something with heat is moving below it. I stand up fast, back away. The cooler door is still open behind me. I turn to leave, and the door swings shut, from outside, like someone pushed it closed. I hear the lock engage. I'm trapped in the cooler, the same cooler where Sarah was last seen, at the same hour. My phone has no signal suddenly. The texts from Sarah are gone. Just gone, like they never existed. Through the small window, I can see aisle 3. The lights are flashing rapidly now, strobing, and I can see shadows moving. Multiple shadows. On the other side of the store. People, at least 3 of them, moving through the front door that should be locked, moving with purpose, headed toward the back, headed toward the cooler. The lock is electronic from the outside but mechanical from the inside. That's the safety design. You can always exit from inside, no matter what. Press the release bar, the mechanism disengages, the magnetic seal breaks. You walk out. I press the release bar. Nothing. I press harder. Put my full weight into it. The bar moves, I can feel it compress, but the door doesn't open. It's like the mechanism is disconnected. Like pressing the bar is just pushing air. Through the window, I watch the 3 figures move through the store. They're wearing coveralls, dark colored. No company logos visible. They move like people who've done this before, who know the layout, who aren't concerned about being seen. One of them is carrying something. A large duffel bag, heavy from the way he's handling it. They disappear from view, heading toward the back hallway, toward the stockroom, toward wherever the tunnel access actually is. I pull out my phone. Still no signal. I open the recent messages. The conversation with Sarah is gone. Completely gone. Like it was deleted remotely. But I still have the photos I took. The license plate list. The pages from Sarah's note. I try calling 911. The call doesn't connect. Just silence. Like the cellular network doesn't exist. The temperature gauge inside the cooler shows 29 degree miles. Dropping again. My breath is visible. My fingers are getting numb. I look down at the back left corner, at the section of floor that felt hollow. If there's a gap, if there are stairs, maybe that's a way out. Maybe I can go down, find another exit, get to the tunnels and what? Run through underground passages I don't know, trying to avoid people who definitely don't want witnesses. But staying here means, what? Waiting for those 3 people to finish whatever they're doing and discover I'm locked in the cooler, seeing things I shouldn't see? I crouch down, press both hands against the suspicious section of floor, push down hard. Something shifts. A click. Mechanical. Old but functional. The floor section lifts up easily, hinged on one side. Below, darkness and stairs. Metal grating, descending maybe 8 feet to a concrete floor. I can hear voices, echoing up from below. The 3 people I saw. They're down there. Johnson said the shipment's already delayed. We need to move it tonight. So we move it. That's what we're doing. What about the kid? What kid? The new night shift. Marcus something. Started tonight. Silence. Then, where is he? Camera shows he went into the cooler. 10 minutes ago, doors locked. More silence. Longer. That's not protocol. He shouldn't be in there during a transfer window. He followed the rules. Lights flickered. He locked the cooler. Standard procedure. From inside? Must have been inside when it sealed. That's a problem. It's containable. We finish the transfer, we let him out, we explain it was a malfunction, we pay him off like we paid off the Chen girl. Everybody's happy. My chest tightens. They know I'm in here. They're planning to, what? Bribe me? Threaten me? Pay me off like Sarah. I need to move. Now. I grab my phone, turn on the flashlight, and descend into the dark. The stairs are steep. The metal grating is slick with condensation. At the bottom, a concrete tunnel. Narrow. Maybe 5 feet wide, 6 feet tall, running in both directions, east and west. I can hear the voices more clearly now. They're to the west, talking, discussing cargo, discussing timing. I go east, away from them, walking as quietly as possible on concrete that echoes every footstep. The tunnel is old. The walls are rough concrete, no finish, just the bare structure. Every 20 feet there's a light fixture. LED bulbs, newer than the tunnel itself, casting harsh white light. Someone's been maintaining this. Someone's been using this regularly. I pass a junction. Another tunnel branching north. I keep going east, following what I hope is the direction away from the building. Away from Highway 50. Away from whoever's using these passages. The tunnel slopes upward slightly. After maybe 200 feet, I see light ahead. Natural light. Moonlight. An exit. Steel door. Heavy, but not locked. I push it open slowly, quietly. I'm outside, behind the gas station, in the desert, creosote bushes and sand and rocks stretching into darkness. Highway 50 is visible to the north, the gas station's sign glowing its blue and white. The exit door is disguised as a ventilation shaft. From outside, it looks like industrial equipment, but from inside, it's clearly an access point. I'm free. I'm out. I can run to the highway, flag down a car, call the police from somewhere with cell service, but my phone buzzes. Just once. Brief. Like a notification trying to come through despite no signal bars showing. I check it. 1 bar. Barely there, but present. And a text message. From Sarah's number. The one that shouldn't exist anymore. They're coming out, they know you're gone. Run east. 3 miles. There's a rest stop. Closed for renovation, but the phone booth works. Call the number I'm sending. Ask for Agent Morrison. Say code Shepard. They'll know what to do. Go now. A second text. A phone number. 702 area code. Las Vegas. I start running. The desert is rough terrain. Sand and rocks and low bushes that catch on my pants. I'm wearing sneakers, not boots. My feet slip. I stumble, but I keep moving. Behind me, I hear voices, shouting, flashlight beams cutting through the dark. They're following. I may be 100 yards from the gas station when I hear an engine, a vehicle starting. Headlights sweep across the desert. They're going to run me down. I change direction, heading north toward the highway. If I can get to the road, if I can flag down a car, they can't just grab me in public view. But Highway 50 at 2:57 a.m. is empty. No traffic. No lights except the gas station behind me. The vehicle is getting closer. I can hear the engine, rough and loud. Truck, big one. I run harder. My lungs are burning. The cold air feels like knives going in and out. Ahead, maybe half a mile, I see lights. Small, red and white. The rest stop. The closed rest stop Sarah mentioned. The truck is 50 yards behind me. I can see it in the corner of my vision. Morrison Freight, the emblem says. The same truck I saw earlier. The pleasant old driver who bought fuel. He's not pleasant now. I dive behind a large creosote bush, drop flat against the sand. The truck passes within 10 feet, headlights sweeping over my hiding spot but missing me in the shadows. It continues north toward the rest stop, then turns around, comes back slowly, searching. I stay flat, stay still, barely breathing. The truck passes again, heads back toward the gas station. I wait 3 minutes, 5, 10. Silence except for the wind. I get up, move slowly, carefully, toward the rest stop. It takes 20 minutes to cover half a mile at that pace. Careful, watching for vehicles, watching for flashlights. The rest stop is small, 2 parking spaces, 1 bathroom building, locked, and a phone booth. An actual phone booth, the kind that barely exist anymore. Glass panels, metal frame. The phone itself, an ancient bell system unit. I pick up the receiver. Dial tone. Actual working dial tone. I dial the number Sarah sent. It rings twice. Morrison. Male voice. Professional. Late night tired but alert. Code Shepard. Pause. Who is this? My name is Marcus. Marcus Bennett. I work at Stop and Go Daru 447 on Highway 50. I need help. How did you get this number? Someone named Sarah Chen gave it to me. Another pause. Longer. What's happening at 447? People are using the building. There are tunnels underneath. They're moving something. Cargo. I don't know what. But they know I saw them and they're hunting me. Your location right now? Rest stop, east of 447, maybe 3 miles. Stay there. Stay visible. I'm sending units. ETA 25 minutes. Do not leave that location. Do not approach anyone who arrives before law enforcement. Understand? Yes, sir. Marcus, this is important. What exactly did you see? 3 people. Dark coveralls. They came in during my shift. Used some kind of tunnel access through the cooler. Talked about moving a delayed shipment. They knew I was locked in the cooler. They were planning to pay me off like they paid off Sarah Chen. You have evidence of this? Photos, notes, security footage maybe if it wasn't deleted. Keep your phone on. Send those photos to this number, everything you have. We've been investigating W447 for 6 months. You might have just given us what we need. Investigating for what? Human trafficking, smuggling, money laundering. Pick one. That location's been flagged since 2003, but we've never had enough evidence. Corporates protected, shell companies, federal jurisdiction issues. It's been a nightmare. My legs give out. I sit down hard on the concrete pad under the phone booth. They're trafficking people. We believe so. Using the tunnel system. Old mining access. Turns out it connects to several buildings in the area. Perfect for moving people without being seen. Rural location. No witnesses. No traffic. Sarah said they paid her off. Sarah Chen's been in witness protection since 2003. She saw something she shouldn't have seen. Called us. We got her out fast, but couldn't shut the operation down without more evidence. She's been helping us monitor the location remotely. If she sent you to me, she trusts you. I hear a vehicle approaching from the west. Headlights visible in the distance. Someone's coming. Don't move. Could be my units. They said 25 minutes. It's only been 3. Then stay hidden. Drop the receiver. Get behind the bathroom building. Now. I drop the phone, run to the bathroom building. It's a small concrete structure, maybe 8 feet square. I press against the back wall in shadows. The vehicle approaches, slows, stops at the rest stop. Truck. Not Morrison Freight this time. Different logo. Desert Star Logistics. 2 people get out. One's wearing coveralls, the other's in civilian clothes. They walk to the phone booth. One of them picks up the dangling receiver. Someone was just here. He checks his phone. Satellite shows cellular activity. One device. Still pinging. They split up. Searching. Flashlight sweeping the area. I'm pressed against cold concrete. Phone in my pocket. If I try to turn it off, they might hear the sound. If I leave it on, they're tracking it. One of them is coming around the bathroom building. 10 feet away. 5 feet. I hear sirens in the distance. Multiple vehicles, coming fast. The man stops. We need to go. Law enforcement. But the witness. Go. Now. They run back to the truck. Engine starts. Tires spray gravel as they speed away, heading east, away from the approaching sirens. I stay hidden until I see the lights. 3 vehicles. Police cruisers. They pull into the rest stop. Marcus Bennett? Someone calls out. Agent Morrison, you can come out. You're safe. I step out from behind the bathroom building. Hands visible. Following procedure I've seen on TV. Agent Morrison is in his 40s, wearing casual clothes, badge visible on his belt. You're okay. You're safe now. Let's get you out of here. The gas station, we've got teams moving on it now. The people you saw are either in custody or running. Either way, they're not getting away. You did good. You called us. You got out. That's what matters. He walks me to his vehicle, opens the back door. We need your statement. Everything you saw, everything you heard, everything you found. This is going to be a long night, but you're on the right side of it. I get in. The door closes. We drive away from the rest stop, away from Highway 50, toward Reno where the FBI field office is located. I look at my phone. 3:47 a.m. The same time Sarah's footage cut out 21 years ago. The same time everything stopped being normal. But this time, someone got out. This time, the truth came with them. The FBI field office in Reno looks exactly like you'd imagine. Gray walls, fluorescent lights, conference rooms with whiteboards and terrible coffee. Agent Morrison walks me through security, past cubicles where early shift agents are starting their day, into a room marked Interview 3. You want coffee? Water? Coffee. Black. He leaves, comes back with 2 cups. The coffee is as bad as I expected. Let's start from the beginning. You started your shift at 11 p.m.? I walk him through everything. The interview with Ron, the manual, the 5 rules, finding Sarah's notes in the filing cabinet, the sounds in aisle 3, the locked cooler, the text messages, the tunnel, the escape. He takes notes on a tablet, doesn't interrupt, lets me tell it straight through. When I finish, he leans back. You understand how insane this sounds? Yes. You also understand it matches everything we've been investigating for months? Sarah said you've been watching the location since 2003. Not continuously, but yes. That location specifically. He pulls up a map on the tablet. Highway 50. Stop and go. 447 marked with a red pin. Surrounding it, maybe 30 other pins. Various colors. These are related sites. Old mining access points. Abandoned buildings. Private warehouses. All connected by the tunnel system. It's extensive. Miles of passages. Built in the 1880s when this area was active for silver mining. Most of it collapsed or was sealed in the mid-1900s, but some sections were maintained. And in the 1980s, certain parties started using them again. For transport. Transport of what? People, initially. Young women from Central America, moving north. Promise them jobs, charge them for passage, take their documents, force them into prostitution or labor. Classic trafficking operation. But over time, it expanded. Drugs, weapons, money, whatever needed to move without oversight. He shows me another screen. Photos, surveillance images, thermal scans of the tunnel system. We've known about the operation for years, but we couldn't penetrate it. Corporate structure is complicated. Shell companies owning shell companies. Anytime we got close, they'd shift operations, move to a different location, wait until pressure decreased, then start again. Why didn't you shut down the gas station? No evidence. Everything we had was circumstantial. Suspicious financial transactions, unusual traffic patterns, but nothing concrete. No witnesses willing to testify. No physical evidence. No bodies. Sarah Chen witnessed it. Sarah Chen was 19 and terrified. She called us, told us what she saw, and by the time we got there, the company had already sealed her testimony with a settlement. Her family needed money. She needed protection. We put her in witness protection, and she agreed not to testify. Without her testimony, we had nothing that would hold up in federal court. But she's been helping you, remotely, monitoring security feeds, tracking vehicle patterns. She's the one who flagged your application, actually. She saw Ron interviewed you and called us, said you seem normal, clean background check, no connections to the organization. She thought maybe you could be useful. She wanted me to find evidence. She wanted you to survive. But yes, if you happen to document anything, that would help. I pull out my phone, open the photos, the license plate list, Sarah's handwritten note, the March 2003 pages. I have these, and there should be security footage from tonight, me locked in the cooler, the 3 people entering, all of it. Agent Morrison takes my phone, connects it to his computer with a cable, starts transferring files. The security footage is the key. If we have clear images of known operatives entering a commercial building during a trafficking event, that's probable cause. That's enough to get warrants, to seize documents, to freeze accounts. Known operatives? You know who they are? We know some of them. Morrison Freight is clean on paper, but we've been watching them for years. Desert Star Logistics is a front. Silver State Transport doesn't exist except as a business license. The people using those companies, we have files on most of them. He shows me photos. 3 men. I recognize 2 of them from the store. These guys were there tonight. Him and him. I point. The 3rd person I couldn't see clearly. That's enough. If you can identify them, if the security footage shows them entering during a transport operation, we can move on them. What happens to Ron? To the gas station? Ron will be questioned, charged if he's complicit. The location will be seized as evidence. Corporate will fight us, but they'll lose. This is federal trafficking charges. They can't cover this. A knock on the door. Another agent enters. Young woman holding a folder. Got the warrant results. Judge signed off. Teams are executing now at 447 and the 3 connected sites. Early reports are substantial. Agent Morrison stands. Define substantial. 23 people found in the tunnels, various states of transport. 16 are cooperating. Documents recovered. Cargo logs, financial records, everything. Morrison exhales. Long and slow. 23 people. Jesus. They were being moved tonight. Shipment was delayed, so they were held in the tunnel system. If Marcus hadn't triggered the response when he did, they'd be gone. Morrison looks at me. You understand what you did? You saved 23 people. You broke open an investigation that's been stalled for 2 decades. I don't feel heroic. I feel exhausted and terrified and relieved all at once. What happens to them? The people you found? Medical evaluation, then interviews, then immigration services if they're undocumented. Some will be witnesses. Some will be victims who just want to go home. We'll handle it case by case. And me? You give your statement, formal interview on record, then you go home. You don't work at Stop and Go anymore, obviously. The location's closed indefinitely, but you'll need to testify eventually. When this goes to trial, could be months, could be a year. Will I be safe? Morrison doesn't answer immediately. We'll be watching you, and they'll be in custody, most of them. Some will run, some always run. But the organization's broken. Without the tunnel access, without the cover location, they can't operate the same way. That's not a yes or no answer. It's the honest answer. Another knock. Different agent, older, senior supervisor type. Morrison, you need to see this. We follow him down the hallway to a different room, larger. Multiple screens showing security footage, not from the gas station, from somewhere else. This is footage from the main junction. Central hub where 5 tunnel branches meet. We found it in the raid 90 minutes ago. The footage is date stamped. March 15th, 2003. 3:33 a.m. Sarah, on screen. Walking downstairs into the tunnel system, looking around, scared but determined. She's carrying her phone, old flip phone. She's recording video on it, holding it up, documenting everything she sees. 2 men appear, same coveralls. They approach her. There's a conversation. No audio, but I can read her body language. She's explaining, showing them her phone, saying she called police. One of them grabs her arm, she pulls away, runs back toward the stairs. They chase, catch her. There's a struggle, brief. She's not fighting them hard, she's trying to broadcast, to make sure her phone captures everything. Then they stop. All three. Like they hear something. Sirens. Distant but audible even on silent footage. The men let her go, run the other direction, disappear into the tunnels. Sarah runs up the stairs, back into the cooler. She's still holding her phone, still recording. The footage ends. "We found the phone," the supervisor says. "Hidden in the tunnel system, wedged into a ceiling vent. She must have tossed it there after she got back to the surface. Wanted us to have the evidence but couldn't risk them finding it on her. Does she know you have it? We called her an hour ago. She cried. 21 years she thought that footage was lost forever. Thought her testimony was all we'd ever have." Morrison pulls up another screen. "With this footage, with your testimony, with the documents we seized tonight, this case is airtight. It goes to trial, they're done. All of them. How many people are we talking about? Total? In the organization? Maybe 50. At various levels. Drivers, enforcers, managers. The people at the top. Those are the ones we really want. The ones who've been running this for decades. The ones who think they're untouchable. Are they? They were. Until tonight." The supervisor closes the laptop. "Marcus, you're free to go. We'll call you in a few days for the formal recorded statement. Agent Morrison will drive you home. And thank you. Sincerely." I nod. Can't really form words. Morrison walks me back through the building, out to the parking lot where early morning light is starting to break over the mountains. "Where do you live?" "Reno, near University." "I'll drive you." We get in his car. He pulls out of the lot, heads west toward the city. It's quiet for a while, just the sound of tires on asphalt, the sunrise turning the desert gold. "Sarah wants to meet you," Morrison says finally. "When this settles, when the trial's done, she wants to thank you in person." "I'd like that. She said to tell you, the rules saved your life. Following them exactly, not deviating. That's what kept you ahead of them. They expected you to investigate, to open the cooler when you shouldn't, to answer the phone. All the things previous employees did that got them caught or paid off or disappeared. But you followed the rules, and that made you unpredictable to them. The rules were designed to protect employees from the trafficking operation? Yeah. After Sarah's incident, corporate created them. Supposedly for safety, really for liability. If an employee gets hurt or disappears during a transfer window, the company can say they provided protocols. Employee violated protocols. Not our fault. It's sick, but it's effective legal coverage. But the rules actually work. They actually keep people safe. They keep people ignorant, which keeps them safe. You don't see the smuggling, you don't witness the crime, you can't testify. Perfect system for them. Except I did see it. I did witness it. Because Sarah warned you. Because she broke the protocol by contacting you. Because she decided protecting you was more important than protecting the company's system. We drive through Reno, past casinos and hotels and early morning traffic. Everything normal. Everyone going about their lives, completely unaware that 5 miles out of town, 23 people were just rescued from tunnels where they were being trafficked. Morrison pulls up to my apartment. Small building, nothing special. Home. Get some sleep, eat something. Try to process this. And Marcus? He hands me a business card. You call me if anything happens. If you feel unsafe. If you see something suspicious. Anything. My cell's on the back. I answer 24/7. Thank you. You did good. Really. A lot of people owe you their lives and they'll never know it. That's how this work goes. But I know it. Sarah knows it. The people we found tonight, they'll know it eventually. That matters. I get out. Walk to my apartment. Unlock the door. Step inside. It's 8:15 a.m. 12 hours since I walked into Ron's office for a 6-minute interview. 12 hours since I accepted a night shift at a gas station that I thought would be simple, ordinary, boring. I was wrong about all of it. I make coffee. Real coffee, not the burnt gas station kind. Sit down on my couch, pull out my phone. One text message from Sarah's number. You survived. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for following the rules. And thank you for breaking them when it mattered. The 23 people who were found tonight are alive because of you. I'll never forget that. Neither will they. S. I text back, thank you for watching out for me, for warning me. I wouldn't have made it without you. We saved each other. That's how this works. Someone helps you, then you help someone else. That's the only rule that really matters. I set the phone down, close my eyes, try to sleep, but I keep seeing that cooler door, that gap in the floor, those stairs descending into darkness. And I think about how many times over the years employees walked into that cooler, saw something, heard something, and made the choice to either follow the rules and survive, or break them and disappear. How many people didn't make it out? How many people did the company pay off or threaten into silence? How many nights did Sarah watch security feeds, helpless, seeing new employees start their shifts and wondering if this would be the one who finally brought it all down? 21 years. That's how long she waited. How long she watched. How long she hoped someone would be brave enough and lucky enough to break the pattern. And I did. I don't feel like a hero. I feel like someone who got lucky. But maybe that's enough. The trial date is set for March, 6 months from now. Agent Morrison calls to tell me. He also tells me the full scope of what they found. 87 people total, across multiple sites. Some being trafficked for labor, some for prostitution, some for organ harvesting, though he won't give me details on that part. Says it's still under investigation. Says I don't want to know. He's probably right. They arrested 42 people connected to the operation. More are still being identified. The tunnel system was even more extensive than they thought, connecting to buildings across 3 counties. Some of it dating back to the original mining era. Some of it built recently, within the last decade. Stop and Go corporate claimed ignorance. Said the local management was operating independently. Said they had no knowledge of any trafficking activities. Federal prosecutors didn't believe them, but proving corporate knowledge is complicated. Lawyers, depositions, discovery. It'll take years. The gas station is closed permanently, seized by federal authorities. There's talk of bulldozing it, filling in the tunnels, erasing the whole thing, making sure it can never be used again. I don't know how I feel about that. Part of me wants it gone, destroyed, every trace eliminated. But part of me thinks it should stay, as a reminder, as proof that this happened, that people fought back, that the truth came out. I'm working at a Starbucks now, day shift, normal hours, normal customers, normal problems like running out of oat milk or the espresso machine jamming. It's boring. It's wonderful. I never thought I'd be grateful for boring. 3 days after the raid, I got a check in the mail, $2,200. My pay for the one shift at Stop and Go, calculated at time and a half because they couldn't prove exactly when my shift ended, so they paid me through 7 a.m. like I'd worked the full 8 hours. I donated it to a trafficking victim support organization. Agent Morrison recommended one. I didn't want that money. Didn't feel right keeping it. The local news covered the story. Major human trafficking ring broken, the headline said. They didn't mention my name. The FBI kept me anonymous. Witness protection, not the full program like Sarah, but enough that my identity stays sealed. Safer that way. But people in Reno know something big happened. Everyone's talking about it. The gas station that was a front, the tunnels under the desert, the dozens of people rescued. It's the kind of story that spreads fast in a small city. I wonder how many people drive past that closed gas station now and think about what happened there. How many people pumped gas there over the years, completely unaware of what was happening below them. That's the thing about evil. It hides in plain sight, disguises itself as ordinary, as normal, as just another business, just another building, just another night shift, until someone looks closer. Sarah calls me on a Thursday afternoon. I'm home from my Starbucks shift, making dinner, trying to remember what normal life feels like. Marcus, it's Sarah. Sarah Chen. Her voice is older than I expected. Not the voice of a 19-year-old girl. The voice of someone who lived through trauma and came out the other side. Hi, Agent Morrison said you wanted to talk. I did. I do. I needed to thank you, in person. Well, voice to voice. I can't do in person until the trial's over. Security protocol. You don't need to thank me. You're the one who warned me, who told me what to do. I just followed your instructions. You could have ignored me. You could have decided I was crazy. You could have done what so many people do and convinced yourself it was just a weird night, a coincidence, nothing serious. It was serious, obviously, but you didn't know that at first. You took a risk believing me. That took courage. We talk for an hour. She tells me about her life after 2003, the witness protection, the relocation to Montana, The fake name, fake background, fake everything. The constant awareness that they were out there, still operating, still trafficking people, while she sat in a small town working a normal job under a fake identity. The guilt she felt. The helplessness. I wanted to go back, she says. So many times. I wanted to march into that place and expose everything, but they would have killed me. Or worse, made me disappear for real. So I did what I could from a distance. Watched the cameras, tracked the patterns, waited for someone who could help. Why didn't the FBI just raid the place years ago? No evidence. Every time they got close, the operation would shut down temporarily, go dormant, wait until scrutiny decreased, then start again. It's how they survived for so long. Patience, caution, never doing anything big enough to draw federal attention. Until that night, the shipment was already late. They were pressured to move it, made mistakes, got sloppy, and you were there to see it. What happens to you now, after the trial? I get my life back, my real name, my real identity. I can move back to California if I want, see my family without pretending I'm someone else. I can exist. For the first time in 21 years, I can actually exist. That must feel amazing. It feels terrifying. I've been Sarah Morrison for so long, I almost forgot how to be Sarah Chen. But yeah, it's amazing. We talk about the trial, about testimony, about what it'll be like to face them in court, the people who stole her identity, her youth, her sense of safety. I'm ready, she says. I've been ready for 21 years. When we hang up, I sit on my couch and think about rules. The 5 rules that were supposed to keep me ignorant, that were supposed to make me complicit through silence, that were designed to protect the company, not the employee. But rules can be subverted. Rules can be turned against their creators. Rules can become the very thing that brings them down. Rule 1. Never serve customers who arrive between 3:15 and 3:47 a.m. without checking the approved list. That's the rule that told me they had an approved list, that there was a system, that certain vehicles were expected and others weren't. Rule 2. If lights flicker, close the cooler. That's the rule that kept me from immediately investigating. That gave me time to find Sarah's notes. That made me cautious instead of curious. Rule 3. Don't answer the phone after 2 a.m. That's the rule that prevented them from calling me with fake emergencies. That kept me from being lured into conversations with people who would threaten or bribe me. Rule 4. If you smell gasoline, evacuate. That's the rule that warned me about tunnel activity. That told me when they were moving cargo below. That gave me advance notice something was wrong. Rule 5. Never restock aisle 3 after midnight. That's the rule that kept me away from the area where tunnel access was closest. That prevented me from accidentally discovering the operation before I was ready to handle it. Every rule was designed to keep employees ignorant and compliant. Every rule became evidence of the crime. The irony is perfect. I'm testifying in March, standing in front of a federal court, telling my story, identifying the people I saw, describing what I found. I'm terrified, but I'm also ready. Because Sarah was ready for 21 years. Because those 87 people they rescued deserve justice. Because someone needs to stand up and say this happened, this was real, this cannot be allowed to continue. Agent Morrison sends me case updates every week. Arrests, seizures, interviews. The investigation expands every time they follow a new lead. It turns out the operation wasn't just in Nevada. It was multi-state, Arizona, Utah, California, all using similar tunnel systems, all hiding in plain sight. And it's all falling apart now. Because I followed the rules. Because Sarah warned me. Because sometimes the system designed to protect evil contains the exact tools needed to destroy it. I think about the other night shift employees over the years, the ones who worked at Stop and Go Nubry 447 before me. Some of them probably saw things, heard things, noticed things, but they didn't have Sarah watching out for them. They didn't have someone texting them instructions, guiding them to safety. They didn't have the training or the courage or the luck to survive what they witnessed. They just disappeared into the system, paid off, threatened, silenced. I think about them sometimes. Wonder what their stories were. Wonder if they ever tried to fight back. I'll never know. But I know that tonight, somewhere, there's another night shift worker. Another person taking a job they don't really want because they need the money. Another person walking into a building they don't fully understand. And maybe they'll remember this story. Maybe they'll be cautious. Maybe they'll follow the rules. Or break them at exactly the right moment. Maybe they'll survive. That's all we can do. Survive, bear witness, tell the truth, and hope that someone's listening. The stop-and-go Nutter 447 is closed now, boarded up, sealed. But the story isn't over. The trial's in March. I'll be there. And so will Sarah. And so will the truth.